Hi guys, welcome back. Right, today we are back on the Winfield Tribute Mercury. Had a good day yesterday. Went to the Skipton Model Show with John from JB Scale Creations, Dave Neve, Andy Swindlehurst, and Roger Hiles. Really good day. We had good fun talking to people on our hot rod and custom display. But Dave brought his Mercury, his Winfield Tribute for the FAF build, and I realised I need to really crack on with mine because apparently the deadline's the end of this month. It ain't going to happen because these deadlines always move, and this is where I am now, and we're now on the 7th of July, so there's no way this is going to get done by the end. But today we're going to make a start on the grill area. I will just insert the rendering that Jeff Allison did of the unfinished Winfield build, and just so you can see a reminder of where we're heading with it. I've been putting off doing this because I'm not really sure how I'm going to achieve the front end. I'll just insert that picture now. Right, so as you can see, it's got a wraparound front grille and coves in the side. Still to decide on what I'm doing with the rear end. Whether I'm going to use this part from the 56 Ford or do something more akin to what's the real car had. Bear in mind, this is a tribute to the car, not a replica. That's how it's going to be, how I want it to be. But first thing we need to do is we're going to have to remove all of this corner here and sink it in so it wraps around. We'll save these pieces because we'd probably be able to use them because they've got a decent curve. I'm going to remove those carefully, and I can maybe move them back and then piece it in with plastic just to make it a bit easier for myself to make the round section of the grill that I can form the ribbed plastic, which I'm going to use as the grill piece. I'm really not sure how I'm going to achieve this, so it's kind of like I'm winging it, if you will. I've got an idea how I'm going to get the side coves done. I'm probably going to make a template, but I've just drawn some reference points on the side of the body there because that corresponds to this front roll pan, which I'm going to keep. But the first thing I need to do, we need to give this some strength. So if I remove these corner bits here, this roll pan's just going to fall off because it's attached with nothing apart from on these corners and nothing else. So the first plan of attack is I am going to piece in or put in some square stock, and it's going to be heavily glued to the inner wheel arches there, and then I'm going to put a good solid bead of super glue underneath there. This will form two parts. It'll attach the roll pan to the body so I can work from it. And then also, again, we're going to do this as a curbside with a flat sheet plate. And that will be the mounting point for that. And then also, the body sides here, once I take the side coves out, it's going to make all of that really fragile. So I'm going to glue in some brass along that bottom to give it some strength. So I'm just going to go and glue them bits in and I'll come back to you. Alright guys, so we've got this piece in here. That's all glued nice and solid, lots of super glue in there, and then we've put the bit of brass in there. So I've tacked it at each end, just holding it, and then with a little bit of accelerator, and I've just gone down with a bead of super glue all down there. Right, so since then also I've worked out where I want the cuts to be made. So I've marked from the roll pan here and then measured up 10 millimeters. So that takes it to the top of the wheel arch. And then we'll get that cut out and then we can mark this side. I might leave this for a little bit until I get this bit in place and get it a little bit more solid. Now, I am going to save, as I say, I am going to save these corner pieces here to see if I can reuse them, move them back and reuse them, just to get the correct shape. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to adjust the camera, get my trusty razor saw, see if I can get it on an angle where you can see it and you can't hear me breathing like a telephone crank call, and underwater breathing through a scuba diving mask. So let's just see what we can do here. Right, we see that? So I'm going to make these bottom cuts first, because basically we're just cutting the roll pan free. It did, from the kit, it glues just here. So we're just going to cut that free carefully. That looks pretty through to me. Then we'll carefully kind of go along these this tape line. I mean, if the cuts are not 100% perfect, we can always clean them up with a file. And I'm really hoping that the gluing that piece of box section in has done the job. And if you use a big razor saw like this, and you're careful about it, you can kind of go through longer areas. Right, that came free there, and you can hear when it's gone through, because the sound changes. Right, so that we've gone all through that now, and there you go. So that is now cut free. And we'll save these pieces and we'll do the same to the other side. Now I'm kind of thinking that we've maybe made that a little bit long, but that is nice and solid there. Right, let's go and cut this other side. We'll cut the bottom bit first. And we're running the blade along and making sure it's parallel to that roll pan. I mean, there's a fairly defined line from it, and I don't know why I'm trying to hold on to the bonnet, because that's just taped in place. We'll hold on to that front pan there. I mean, let's get rid of that. It's annoying me now. So we'll hold on there. not quite all the way through. So I'm the type of person really that I'm quite adept at doing one side of the body. When it comes to the other side, I struggle a bit. Right. So we're using this tape as a guide, but also using the long blade to guide itself, if you will. Oops, right. Now the way a bit. As you can see, we've cut into the headlights, but we are going to do some work on them. And we're going to use some extended, smaller headlights. As you can see, there my cut's gone off a little bit. So it's no big deal though. We can sort that. Right, so is that free? Not quite. There you go. Right, that top bit's free from the body. I need to go through this bottom bit a little bit more by the sound of it, looks of it. There we go. Right, so that is both corners are now free. Let's get this camera back down here now. We'll just clear this a little bit. Right. Okay, so we've got that cut nice and free now. I think we need to do a little bit of rework on this side because that side's a bit higher, but we can clean that up with a file. Okay, so I'll just do a little bit of cleanup with a file and then I'll come back to you where we're kind of going next with it. All right. Right, guys, so I have now got that all cleaned up, and then I've gone and cut some 1mm thick sheet plastic, and it's 10mm wide. I've had to sort of file it to shape, and I've beveled it in the middle there, and that is nice and glued in solidly, and that is going to create a backdrop for the ribbed plastic. I'm just going to use something like that will glue to that and wrap round, which will be chromed or aluminium or something. But then, so it was really difficult to try and do that on camera, so I did it off camera. But it's basically just cut and fit to shape and glued in. It's super glued in from the back because I don't want glue build up along these edges. I'm going to have to sort of sort this top edge out to get the right, it needs to match this a little bit. I'm going to have to kind of square it off here, and it is extended a little bit. So, but the next job is to sort out these corners. So what I'm going to do now is I've cut one of these corner pieces down, which is this one. That's the original one. This is one that I've cut down. So I'm going to leave it longer than I need it. Okay, but with the cutting down, if you notice, it is too shallow. Okay, I'm going to have to, actually I'm going to have to square that bit of plastic up there because it looks a little bit off. So we'll just get the filing. Let's get the filing there and just file that a little bit. Needs to be better if I watch what I was doing. That'll do. Right, so it's a little bit short. Okay, so it's going to go in that way around, and it's going to leave it extremely long. That'll allow us space to reshape the wheel well. Okay, but what I need to do is add a little bit of plastic onto the bottom there. So I've just got a piece of, I did have a piece of 1.5 mil thick plastic somewhere, which I seem to have lost. But I'll do that and then come back to you, and we'll piece that bit in. All right, so I've got that, a bit of plastic on the bottom there, shaped it, and now we are going to add it into the corner of that front grille area. Just in, oops, let's just move this camera a little bit more so you can maybe see what I'm doing. Okay, so that'll be now added into that bit there. So I'm just going to glue that in place, tack it to the bit of plastic, and then we can tack it, heavily glue it from the back. So I'll just get a toothpick and add some glue there along this edge, and then get that piece in like so, and I want it to be kind of like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly glued because I'm going to shape it with a file. All I want is the round corner at the moment, and I could really do with squirting it with some accelerator, but I ain't got hand free while I'm doing this. Right, that's now stuck. It's not straight at all, isn't that? So let's have that a little bit better. And we'll just squirt that with a little bit of accelerator. Just get a cloth and wipe that down. Okay, what we have here then is that corner now done. It's got a little bit of a gap there, which we wanted, but we can shape that to whatever we want. Right, so I'm going to go and do the other side and get that tacked in place exactly the same way. Right then, so we've got this all pieced in now. All the corners, they're nicely recessed in and filed to shape with a little bit more work maybe. But the whole idea of that is, if you remember the video, the picture that I showed at the beginning of the video, it's got like a horizontal, the car's got a horizontal grille in it. So we're going to use some ribbed styrene like this. And this that I've put in here is going to serve as a base to glue that in, and it's going to wrap around like so. This is just a test piece for now, but that is the idea. So it's recessed in like the the real car was, or the illustration by Jeff Allington. So that will, what we'll do next on the next video, we're going to leave this one here for now. As you can see, I've left that longer than it needs to be, because then we can reshape the wheel wells as we want them. So what the plan is to we'll cut the scoops out, and it's going to match. We're going to have a line going down the car, so the side coves are on the same level as the grille, and then we'll continue that round into the rear of the car. We're not going to use that 56 piece, because after a conversation with my friend David Wyckoff, who actually worked for Gene Winfield for a while, he always matches up the rear of the car to the front. So we're going to do something very, very similar round the back. Yeah, so I was stuck on what to do with this, and then I had a bit of a revelation to use the corners to get the shape. As I've said before, it's all about the shape that you need. So we've reused the parts that we cut out. We are going to have to do some work along here to make it all match up, but we'll do that once we get the headlights in. And I'm going to use these headlights that we, the same ones that we used on the Apache from the 63, but they're going to get quite significantly cut down. All right, guys, well, thank you for watching this. Hopefully in the next couple of days I'll get on to doing the side coves, but for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.